what are you doing now just to stay healthy mentally and physically?
Well, I like what you say about staying healthy mentally, because that is probably more important than staying healthy physically. The sort of physical aspect helps the mental health and the mental strength. I do F45 at 5:15 each morning. The reason why I do 5:15, because it works with the school drop-offs and the kids getting up, and it means Lana can do the 6:45, so we sort of tag team in. But getting out of bed, or my alarm goes off at 4:15, and then I snooze until 4:40 because I can't get out of bed straight away. It's a nightmare. Long story short, I get up. My work is done by 6 o'clock. So I'm home at 6:03, having a coffee. Lana's made all the kids' breakfast, so I then help with the kids with their brekkie. She goes to the gym. She's done by 8 o'clock, and our day's finished. So I actually feel I'm up before everyone else. It's still dark when I get up. It's the best time of the day, and I feel really, really good, like I've achieved something that particular day. Like
you've already won the day.
Yeah, like I've won the day. And as I said, I haven't, off air before, I haven't been this week because I've been so busy. There's been a lot of stuff going on with the house at home and stuff. So I actually feel like I've cheated this week. I went for a run just before we came on air here, and I feel a lot better already. You just feel mentally better.
And I think that's constant. As you know, you've been working hard on this like there's a recession since your age of 22. And I've been exactly the same. You just got to keep going all the time because at some stage, whether the market shifts or whatever happens, like this event that's happening, that you can actually push yourself through it. But I think it's all a mindset. I think that's where a lot of people don't have their minds right, and they're very quick to try and look for external excuses or reasons why you can't rather than reasons why you can.
So this is really interesting. So in terms of, for our listeners and the people watching this podcast, we work at Kelly+Partners with people like you that own private businesses. I personally believe that everything starts with your mindset. How do you manage your mindset? You've got a big business, so there's 58 sites, so 58 franchise owners. How many employees, trainers are in that?
There's roughly 500.
So there's 500 trainers, and how many clients?
9,000.
So there's 9,000 clients. So this is a big enterprise, a bunch of turnover, a lot of moving parts. But how do you keep your head right? You're married, Fee, and the kids, 4 kids. So what's the Andrew Simmons, keep your head straight?
Well, I think it's there's that great philosophy from Jim Rohn is work harder on yourself than you're doing your job. I think that's what you need to do is feed your mind with the things that are positive rather than feeding your mind with things that are negative.
So control your focus.
Absolutely. But I think for me, it's always been about being goal orientated. I know the times in my life where I have been comfortable. That's when things haven't been right. So I know that I need to, I suppose, and I focus all the time on success through succession. And that is thinking about the next wave of people that are coming through that are going to build a success. Because I know that, hey, at some stage, things are going to go wrong. But you've got to push through it. So, I think it's, I've always embraced that idea of the law of the lid. You can only, the law of the lid would state that people only go to the level that you're at. So you've got to keep pushing. So if you're a 7, then they'll always be a 5. Well, you can't play at a 7.
So you can lift your team by lifting your own
yourself.
energy, your own attitude, your own performance.
Absolutely. So mate, I think I've been fortunate over the time, and I've had probably the most stressful last 6 months of my life with a whole bunch of stuff, whether it's in the business or my father passing away and those sorts of things. And I realised what's actually got me through that is actually all the personal development stuff that I've done over the years. And I've really drawn upon that to help me through. But if I realised if I didn't do that stuff and really work and read books and audios, and I love them, I get a great chance to actually spend a lot of time with whether it's Tony Robbins or John Maxwell or Jim Rohn in my car all the time. It's always playing in my car. To actually just keep reinforcing what I need to, how I need to live.
It's a really great saying. Well, I think one of the motivational speakers says, somebody asked him, why do you do that motivation stuff all the time? And he said, well, it's like a shower. You should do it every day. So it's quite interesting that, I meet people and their moods seem to move around, but they're not doing anything consistently, I guess, to keep their mood up. Obviously, to get yourself fit for living and for your business, how do you make the time to do that?
I'm very much a creature of habit. I'm very much known for that. People know that I'm very consistent in what I do.
So when do you train?
Every morning. So I'm
5
fortunate.
o'clock, 6 o'clock?
5 o'clock. Basically, I'm out of bed 4:45. each morning. It's between 4:45 and 5 each morning. And then my wife and Fiona and I, we train together, which actually really helps. The fact that we can spend that time together, but also we're doing something healthy. And there's times where someone might be tired, the other one goes, come on, we're going. So we're actually always working together to make sure that it gets done.
Fantastic to have you with us today.
No, very happy to be here.
Share with me, mate. The perfect day starts the night before.
Yes.
What do we do?
Oh, mate, sleep governs everything, right? It will absolutely affect every single cell in the body, and it often gets neglected by many, many people, especially those busy corporate, fast-paced lifestyle people. So, number one, we got to start with a good night's sleep. Aiming for 7 to 8 hours per night is critical, but you really got to set up the right conditions in order to get the best night's sleep, right? So we're looking at going into airplane mode 2 hours before bed. So no notifications, no emails, no social media. We want to limit the screen time because the blue light from the screen is actually going to wake you up, increase dopamine, and it's going to suppress melatonin, which is a critical sleep neurotransmitter. We also want a nice cool room. You want a very dark room. You want to limit your caffeine intake, or at least have it much earlier on in the day.
So no espressos after 2 p.m.
After 2 p.m.
I've heard.
Exactly right. Yeah.
So go hard with your espressos early in the morning.
Exactly.
And then be done by 2.
Exactly. Spot on. But also limiting your alcohol intake. And we know that alcohol can help induce sleep, but it will actually inhibit
So
that
all of
REM
your
sleep.
alcohol before 11 in the morning.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you've got to drink your coffee by 2. A lot of people think have a drink before they go to sleep. You hear people say that relaxes them.
Yep.
What does it actually do?
Well, it will inhibit that deep restorative sleep. So it can help induce sleep, but it will inhibit the sleep where we're having all that repairing going on. So all of our physical repair, but also cognitive, neurotransmitters are being replenished, all that kind of stuff. So if we're impairing that sleep, we're gonna wake up not as refreshed as we could be.
So not all sleep is equal?
Correct.
You see people have a big night out, they sleep because they're knocked out, but they wake up feeling tired.
Exactly.
And what we're talking about here is having the type of sleep that makes you wake up feeling on top of the world with some energy and good to go.
Exactly. It's not just about quantity, it's about quality of sleep as well.
As far back as I can remember, I had this desire to always want to try and do my best. And I don't know where that came from, whether it was bred into me or whatever. But what happened was the turning point in my life was a massive turning point in my life at the age of 14 when my father, he dropped dead from a heart attack. So that was like a really difficult period. Me being the oldest of 3 boys was something where I had to sort of, I had to give up or get up. So I got up, and I think from that point on, I understood a little bit more about responsibility. Even though I was pretty young and didn't really understand leadership, I understood what responsibility was. And that then led to me being well, he died because pretty much had a heart attack, but he was a smoker, drinker, didn't look after himself. So I sort of saw a causal link between those factors and his death. So I started then, way before anybody else really started focusing on health, I started looking and reading whatever I could about health and fitness. But there wasn't much around, and yet there was no internet. You had to go to libraries to sort of study and understand this stuff. And anyhow, I pursued and started trying to get fitter and healthier. And that helped my footy, because I really was playing rugby league, and it helped my footy. And the more that I got into that, the more I improved as a footy player. And then I was fortunate enough because Gough Whitlam came in not long before I got to my year 12 at school and made it free to go to university. So I was able to go to university.
If you lose your health, nothing else matters. Health is very significant. How much money would Kerry Packer have been able to give of his vast wealth for a new kidney to be able to continue to play the game? As I say, your mental and physical health is, in my opinion, is paramount, because the people that I've met and know that have lost it, nothing else counts. I was involved with Wayne Bennett in a talk a week ago in Brisbane, and one of the questions that was asked is, what were some of the most influential people in your life that had an impact on what you've done and haven't done? And my answer was my father. One of the things that I learned from him, or he gave me, was this belief that you can do whatever you want to do. And that probably is not true. Not true that you can do whatever you want to do. But he instilled in me the belief, and there's an expression, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're probably right. And what I'm trying to say is that, I think we're probably of an age group that you got kids out there. And one of the things that it gives you is self-confidence and self-esteem. And if, as parents, and this is what I think I got from my father, is the fact that it's okay to have a go. It's okay to fail. And if you win more than you lose, you develop some self-confidence that you can do things.
Obviously, your family, the girls,
yes,
in the business.
Yes. Look, I'm very fortunate. I have a great wife,
Yeah.
and I don't think of those things all the time
Yeah.
because I'm always thinking ahead and I'm thinking to be successful.
Yeah.
But I think the background, you got to have those foundations.
Yeah, yeah.
Because without foundations,
You can't build anything.
you can't build.
I think it's an interesting theme, of the people that I've met, and many of them that have done very well. It's the quiet, strong foundations that they
Foundation
have.
is so important. Because when I get home, if I have trouble, your mind, you can't think anymore.
Can't think.
Another very important piece of advice that I'm going to direct specifically at the women in the room, and particularly those that are career focused and that are looking to work towards leadership within your company, is to do not even try to ever become a superwoman. It's impossible, girls. You will never live up to fulfilling everybody's expectations in every direction. And I would advise you to put yourself on an even footing with the boys and employ as much help as you can possibly afford so that you can have as much time to concentrate on the things that are important in your life and the things that are important to your loved ones. And those things are not who washes and folds the socks and who washes the kitchen floor or cleans the oven. Those things are immaterial. They're only important if you expect somebody else in the family to do them. If you pay somebody outside, everybody's happy. And of course, it gives you an opportunity to look after your own sense of well-being and your own sense of value. And of course, also, it spreads the wealth. When you employ somebody else to do the things that you prefer not to do because you have more important things to do with your time, it spreads the wealth and gives other people an opportunity to earn.
Fact or wives' tale? Most people are actually thirsty, they're not hungry.
Yes, I certainly have heard that. I'm not sure. I haven't seen necessarily any scientific data to back that up per se, but I think there's probably a very good argument to say that. And also, they're either thirsty or they're bored. I think that's a huge part of it. And also another great little phrase that I like to use is hunger is not an emergency.
Yeah.
People think as soon as they start to feel a little bit hungry, I've got to go and eat.
Yeah.
Right. So and once you become more mindful of that, you can actually take a step back from that and say, okay, am I actually hungry? Or am I thirsty? Am I just bored? Do I need to go for a walk? Do I need to do something else? So that's definitely a valid point.
Okay. So if you've got your sort of composite, modern human in isolation right now, what do you think? I've got some ideas. I'm isolated in a household of 3 children and myself and my wife. I've got a lot of friends I'm talking to. What do you think? What are you seeing? Is it snacking, lack of exercise, unconsciousness, lack of water?
Yep. All of the above.
Yeah.
I think having more time at home where food is easily accessible is a big one. Okay. And not then being busy enough. It's not being mindful of it. And I think it's also a mindset thing of, okay, well, I can't go and do my usual stuff. I can't go and exercise and do this and do that. So forget about it. I'm just going to throw it all out the window for now. Your goals are probably going to need to change, right? You might have had a big lofty weight loss, strength goal, whatever it was prior to COVID, and that's totally fine. You can absolutely go from whatever the goal is to just maintenance. But again, having that goal, as you know, just better than anyone, having goals written down is critical, right? So change the goal, but make sure you consciously do so.
Thanks for listening to the Be Better Off Show. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to rate and review on Apple Podcasts.
Have a great day.